Why did Putin dare to surrender Kursk? How will more than 200 Ukrainian drones bomb the Russian Federation? And will the Russian dictator be arrested in Mongolia, we hope? This and other topics we will discuss right now on our YouTube War and Politics 24. My name is Irina Uzlova, and I am happy to join our conversation, like usual, every week. Michael Sheitelman, political strategist. Michael, hello. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you.
Hi, Irina. Hi.
Please, our dear viewers, write down your comments and tell us from which countries you are watching us. It's very interesting and useful for us. So, Putin issues new ultimatums on peace negotiations tied to Ukrainian operation in Kursk region. Russian dictator Vladimir Putin has reiterated that Russia has never refused peace talks with Ukraine. However, he insists that the bandits in Kursk Oblast must be dealt with, according to Russian state media on September 2. He made this statement when he was with his visitor at a middle school in Kyiv, Republic of Tuva. Why has Putin, how do you see, Michael, changed his previous condition for starting peace talks with Ukraine? Because following the start of our Ukrainian operation in Kursk Oblast, the Kremlin has declared negotiations to be impossible.
Yeah, generally, Putin during last year wants negotiation, yeah. But certainly he wants negotiation on his own condition. And his condition, he also pronounced that, absolutely pronounced, and he said, okay, my condition is you withdraw your Ukrainian troops from your own territory, which Russia thinks that this is Russian territory. It means Kherson district, which is Ukrainian district, Zaporizhia district, which is also Ukrainian district, Donetsk and Lugansk districts. So that was the Mr. Putin condition before Ukrainian forces invaded to Kursk region. After Ukrainian forces invaded Kursk region, his first reaction was no negotiation. But in fact, there was no negotiation anyway, because Ukraine refused negotiation on Mr. Putin's conditions. Yeah?
Yes.
So now he changed his mind, but it doesn't change anything in our reality, because we didn't have any negotiation and we don't have it now, and it doesn't look that we will have it tomorrow. Because now Mr. Putin condition, let's let's disturb Ukrainian forces in Russian territory, which they call Mr. Putin called bandits, which is gangsters, yeah, let's say, Ukrainian gangsters on Russian territory. But in this case, obviously, the position of Ukrainian side, of Ukrainian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, will be absolutely symmetric position. Like if Putin says our condition is withdrawing Ukrainian forces from Russian territory, so Ukrainian condition is withdrawing of Russian forces from Ukrainian territory.
Well,
yeah, obviously that is from common sense. If Putin says, I am ready for negotiation only after Ukraine withdraw their troops from Russian territory, so obviously our condition is very logical. And with this new condition, this new Putin's condition, you know, it is like, how to say that, it is the reason, one more reason for Ukraine to say, okay, Mr. Zelensky plan is ideal and the only possible plan to start negotiation after Russia withdraw their troops from Ukraine. This condition, this Ukrainian plan, this Mr. Zelensky peace plan, was also approved by 80 countries on summer in June summit in Switzerland, and 80 countries put their signature after this plan. And Mr. Borrell, who is the chief diplomat of European Union, said this is the only plan which could work, and this is the only plan which could be the basis of negotiation between the European Union with Ukraine and Russian Federation from the other side. So now we have like one more ally, which is Mr. Putin, because he says the same thing. Withdraw your troops before the negotiation and not after that.
Yes, but it seems to me that he is not ready totally, and I need some details. How do you think, is Putin really ready to exchange Kursk for all captured territories of Ukraine? Because I don't believe in it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He said, and his foreign minister, Mr. Lavrov, said that Kursk region is not a matter of negotiation. Okay, if it is not the matter of negotiation, let's have a war on Kursk region if you say that this is not a matter of negotiation. But in the same mood, we are saying Ukrainian territory is not the matter of negotiation. It's not the object of negotiation. Yeah, it is the same position. The position of Mr. Putin, and position of Ukrainian authorities, it is the same now, and it was not the same before our invasion towards Russian territory. But now we can say, okay, you are saying you don't ready to negotiate about your territory. We are not ready to negotiate about our territory. It is the same, yeah.
So why did Putin make this statement today, and who are Putin's statements aimed at?
Oh, that is a tough question, because usually, he has no audience. He has no audience outside of Russia. No, really. European Union has its own position, and position of European Union once declared by Mr. Borrell. United States has also their own position, and this position is written down in the agreement, a security agreement between Ukraine and United States. And in this agreement, we could see that the only way to secure the security of Ukraine and European Union is to come back to the international recognized borders of Ukraine, which means to withdraw all the military forces of Russia from Ukrainian territory. So all Western countries, they insist on territorial integrity of Ukraine. And then Mr. Putin says, okay, I am not ready to territorial integrity of Ukraine, and I am not ready to discuss territorial integrity of Ukraine. So he has no partner for this negotiation. He has just no partner. So what is my belief personally? This is, let's say, my humble opinion, yeah. I see that inside Kremlin, inside Russian authorities, Russian government, and inside very close circle of Mr. Putin, we have two different flanks, two different parties, war party and peace party. Let's call them war party and peace party. Peace party were also not the pigeons. Peace party were also military guys, and were also some special security forces guys. But peace party, this is the people who want immediate ceasefire and immediate negotiation with Ukraine. War party, this is people who insist on capturing more and more Ukrainian territories in Donbass and other areas. Mr. Putin, he is the leader of war party. Yes. As well as former President Medvedev, for example, and who I can mention more. It is difficult to say who is in Mr. Putin party, because he is almost alone. In this war, on war flank of this, yeah. A lot of his own close circle were for negotiation and for ceasefire immediately. So his speech is towards the peace party around him. Peace party around him. He is in fear now after Ukraine captured part of Russian territory. It means that Putin's strategy doesn't work. Putin's strategy of war doesn't work. And also in this today's meeting was with children at the school. Mr. Putin met children at the school. Yes. And he had the conversation with children like they are not children, but political strategists from Washington or from Moscow, from Beijing. You know?
Yes, like they were waiting for this knowledge day only to hear Putin aims on Ukrainian war or things about Kursk region. It was unbelievable for him to hear, I think, like joke.
Not only, you know, and more than that. His speech was, for example, about the political situation inside Ukraine also. He said that, you know, Ukraine doesn't stop this war because current authorities, current government of Ukraine were feared to lose election after the war in Ukraine. But this is children, Russian children in some very far away district of Russia,
yes.
in Tuva, which is in the middle of Asia. This is not Europe at all, yeah?
Yes, it is 4,000.
This is a remote region, yeah? Sorry?
It's 4,500 kilometers from Ukraine, Michael.
Well, yeah, 4,500 kilometers from Ukraine. And he, Mr. Putin, he tries to, you know, persuade them that he is right. He does right things at the war.
Yes.
He says, you know, we capture square kilometers per day of Ukrainian territory. And these children, they should what? To make festival for that or something like that. And then he tell these children stories about Ukrainian government. What they should do? They are just children from remote region in the middle of Asia on the Chinese border somewhere. But I found some key for his word, for his speech. He said that 10,000 of guys from this region. This is a small region, Tuva, Autonomy Republic of Tuva, and 10,000 Tuvinians, or how they call them, Tuvinians, 10,000 Tuvinians, they now on front line inside Ukrainian territory, 10,000. But total population of this Tuva region is 300,000 people, which means one of 30 people, one of 30, they're on front line now. One of 30, when we count everybody, all the old people and children and women, everybody. So from adult men, it should be like 25% or 30% of adult men of Tuva were on front line now. So when he meet these children, so every, let's say, second or third father of this girl or guy now is in the war. So this was why he thinks this is important for these children, I believe.
He is not normal and is not adequate, we understand it. And if I understood right, will we continue the Kursk invasion further if we see now that we are actually achieving our goals?
Yeah, I can't say what were our goals in Kursk region. What we can say, that Ukraine also captured Russian territory, and when Mr. Putin says to these children that Russian army captures square kilometers per day of Ukrainian territory, so Ukrainian army captures tens of square kilometers per day, more or less 100 square kilometers per day in this operation. So the territory which Ukrainian army captured during last month inside the Russian Federation is bigger territory than Russian army captured during last year in Ukrainian territory. So this is only one of our goals. Another goal is to capture Russian soldiers. Our army captured a lot of Russian soldiers inside Russia. Why? Because these soldiers were not professionals, were very bad prepared. They're just people from like civil service or something, but they are military, yeah? They are military from formal point of view, so they are combatants from the international law point of view, but Ukrainian army can capture them and exchange them for Ukrainian prisoners who now spend the time in Russian prison, in the Russian camps. It is the second goal. But there is the third goal, which I can't say you what is that. But obviously, there is a connection between Kursk front line and Donbass front line. It is very direct connection because it is very close one to other. Every movement inside Kursk region of Russian Federation, it also brings some movement inside Donbass area of Russian troops, for example. And I am not military specialist, and I am not a military expert, and I'm not sure that every military expert can explain you what does it mean, because this is the plans of Ukrainian chief commander, and nobody knows what exactly this plan. Here, it is, it is very big number of various, directions of this war now. I just can't know.
Okay, now let's move on to our next topic, hot topic, it seems to me. Almost 200 drones bombed Russia and Moscow this weekend. 13 and even more regions were attacked by Ukrainian drones. Oil refineries were burning, and some of them are burning still right now. Does this trend, Michael, how do you think, demonstrate that we can now deliver a symmetrical response to the enemy's bombing of our critical infrastructure and not only infrastructure, and how much do massive attacks on Russia increase the fear and panic of both Putin and the Russian people?
For my sorrow, it is not symmetric answer. It only looks like, because we are using only drones, and these drones, last night from between Saturday and Sunday, Ukrainian army sent 150 drones towards Russian territory. Part of them towards Moscow, and one of drones also got to Moscow oil refinery, and it bombed oil refinery inside Moscow. So we have successes in this bombing, but still we are using only drones, and these drones which are Ukrainian produced drones, they bring only, I don't know exactly, but it looks like 50 kilo of nitro. And big missile brings 1,000 kilo of nitro. So you can feel the difference, It is multiply 20. Each Russian missile, they have missiles with 500 kilo of nitro and 1,000 kilo of nitro. So Russian missiles, first of all, they just have more nitro, so they're more dangerous, and they bring more disturbs, and they bring more, let's say, fire, to Ukraine. That's first. Second, when we use only drones, so Russians, with the air forces, they can fall out, they can shut down 90% of our drones. We also can shut down 90% of their drones. This is a symmetric situation, yes. But we don't have additional missiles. They use their drones just to overload our air defense system. And we also overload air defense system of Russia. But we don't have ballistic missiles, and we don't have cruise missiles to use at this time. If we have these missiles as addition, something addition, as some extra for these drones, so it will be symmetric. But Ukraine doesn't produce these missiles itself, and United States and Germany, they don't give us a permission to use their missiles inside Russian territory, for my sorrow. So this is the permission which we are waiting for.
And it have to be my next question, so I ask you about it. Will the United States of America give us this permission to strike with long-range weapon at legitimate targets in the territory of the aggressor country, maybe as a result of our Ukrainian delegation's trip to Washington, D.C., to the United States? And what factor will be the key to making this decision now?
it doesn't depend directly from delegations. Okay, our delegation has a plan, which is good news.
At least.
Our Ukrainian delegation has a plan, and which is very, very precise plan. It is just not just general plan or general asking, let us permission to use this weapon towards Russia. No, this time our army and our security forces prepared the list of targets on Russian territory. So we need permission for just concrete list of targets, which mostly they are airfields, maybe it is some bridges or something, and maybe some storage of weapon or something like that. So it is not just we use it where we want. We use it on the targets which were concluded with United States and with Pentagon, for example. This is good news. But let me guess that it is just wild guess, that the decision itself, which depends now only on one person, President Biden.
Yes.
This is personal decision of President Biden. And, for example, Mr. Scholz, he can't make this decision himself, obviously. We saw the same situation when we followed after the decision to give us tanks and to give us planes, for example. So Mr. Scholz can give this decision can make this decision only after Mr. Biden make this decision. So we are waiting for Mr. Biden decision. But Mr. Biden decision less depends on our plans and more depends on the situation inside the United States, situation in presidential race. What we have? We have debates, for example, next week inside the United States between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, they will bring their position about war in Ukraine. And Kamala Harris is a candidate to presidency. She should bring some position not only on paper, but also on practice, because she is now not only candidate, but she is also vice president. And she is not only vice president, but she is vice president who took a part in Munich Security Conference. She is vice president who took a part in peace summit in Switzerland. I mean, Ukrainian peace summit in Switzerland. Yes. So she has some role in this conflict also. Now, I mean, immediately. So this decision of Mr. Biden will very, very influence the rating of Kamala Harris and her position in this race. I can't give you the right answer. What is the right step to do to candidate Harris? To give a permission from Biden, I mean, or not to give a permission. But in headquarters of election campaign of Kamala Harris, they know the answer, not me, because they have opinion polls. They know they will. By the way, they will do the new opinion polls after the debates, and they will see if they need some strong steps and to give a permission to make a strikes towards Russian territory. It is a strong step, or maybe they just should to keep silence about that till November 5th, for example. So it is the general picture. I just can describe on what factors it depends, but I don't know exactly which answer could choose Mr. Biden.
And this result is very important for us, so we will wait. And while we are waiting for this permission, Michael, Russia massively strikes Kyiv again. Second week, we see these massive attacks, combined missile attacks on Kyiv, bombing Ukraine on Knowledge Day is another manifestation of terrorism by Putin, Russian dictator. And what is the goal of the Russian dictator now? How do you think?
Well, today I felt it on myself because I am in the city center of Kyiv, and this night was very, very difficult, really very difficult. And I remember just a couple of nights like that, because today Russia bombed not only with cruise missiles, which we used to during almost 3 years of war, but today Russia threw the biggest number of ballistic missiles towards Kyiv in one night. It was 9 ballistic missiles. And this is a big number. To shut down 9 ballistic missiles, you should use at least 20 missiles of Patriot system, air defense Patriot system. And believe me, when you are sitting in the middle of this battlefield, you feel like like you are the fighter, you are the pilot of F-16 or something like that. Yeah,
yes,
because you just see the flash around you, and my building, for example, it just shrank. My building was shrank. Yeah, and me and my cats, we just spent this night on the floor. Yeah. It was very dangerous and really fearing, yeah.
Our reality.
But good news that our air defense system worked very good, and all the Russian missiles they were shut down. All Russian missiles towards Kyiv, 9 ballistic missiles and about 10 cruise missiles. But the citizens of other cities were less lucky, because we have this kind of Patriot system only for Kyiv. And in nearby city of Kharkiv, for example, which is a city of 1 million people, this is a big city, 1 million people. They don't have Patriot system. And they just can't to defend the city from ballistic missiles of Russians. And Russians killed yesterday 5 or 10 people, I don't remember, in Kharkiv. The same they did on Friday. And they ruined the biggest sports center in Kharkiv, in the city of 1 million people. And they used around 10 ballistic missiles against Kharkiv yesterday. So it was very, very difficult night. Why Russians do that? It is just regular part of their war. This is not anything new. This is not any special operation. They just have a plan. The plan of how to destroy Ukraine, how to destroy Ukrainian infrastructure, and how to kill all the Ukrainians. Their final goal is to kill each Ukrainian, every person, just every person. This is not fantasy. This is their declaration, open declaration. Mr. Medvedev, who is the second man in Russia, he said our final goal is to kill every Ukrainian on this territory. It will take years, but we will go to this goal. And their representative in United Nations, Russian representative in United Nations, he said that their goal is to disrupt all the Ukrainian cities, So this is just part of their strategy. But they don't have enough. They don't have enough missiles. They don't have enough weapon for that. Because Kyiv is a huge city, really huge. There's 4 million people, and it is city number 5 or 6 by population in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So to destroy this city, you need United States Army and Chinese Army together, and not this Russian small and very small army. Yeah.
Okay, Michael, thank you for this point. We know that everything in our world is salt and water, unfortunately. It's our realities too. And what did Putin promise to Mongolia, which he is visiting on September 3rd? Why won't Putin be arrested there? And does Putin demonstrate to the whole world with this trip that he simply spits on international law?
Yeah, it looks, at the beginning, it looked like a very strange decision to go to Mongolia by Mr. Putin, because International Criminal Court issued the order, I don't remember how it is called in the court, but they issued the order for arresting Mr. Putin for his as a war criminal.
Yes.
And in previous year, he didn't visit any country who is the member of International Criminal Court in Hague. But Mongolia, this is the first country which is a member of International Criminal Court in Hague, which Mr. Putin is ready to visit. I supposed that probably current Mongolian ruling party is corrupt by Russians. And I just brought this idea in my stream on my channel. I have my own channel in Russian language with 500,000 of subscribers. Yeah, so I brought this idea yesterday. And on my Russian-speaking channel, I have the audience all over the world, all over the globe. So, as a result, I received the lists, emails from Mongolia, from Mongolian people. In Mongolia, a lot of people know Russian language. They studied that at the school as foreign language in Soviet time. So they brought me their answer for that, and they said, yes, you know, our government is corrupt by Russians, and Mongolia very depends on Russia from point of gasoline. So 100% of gasoline in Mongolia, it is Russian gasoline. And Russia, last year, they banned export of gasoline outside from Russia because they have lack of gasoline for their own needs, for their war, for example. This is because Ukraine, you know, because Ukraine bombed the Russian refineries, oil refineries. But they did the exception for Mongolia. So Russia continued to export gasoline to Mongolia. Second is energy, electricity. A big percentage, 70% or something like that, of electricity also produced in Russia and exported to Mongolia. So Mongolia depends on Russia. But Mongolia last years or last decades, they try to go out of Russian sphere of interest. At Soviet time, Mongolia was in fact part of Soviet Union. From formal point of view, it was independent state, but all of us knew that this is part of Soviet Union. But after Soviet Union collapsed, so Mongolia tried, as Central Asian countries all stands, to build the independent policy, and they brought Western companies to Mongolia and Chinese companies to Mongolia. But in couple of spheres, for example, they very depend on Russia. And also Russians, they can just vote politicians. They do that, they do that all around the globe. So now we did that with Mongolia. And today, suddenly Mr. Putin's visit started today, Yes. Today is September 2nd. And it was planned for September 3rd. I believe that this is not occasionally. They did that before the date. They didn't give a chance to European Union and to US and to international authorities to prepare for this visit, Because also today, European Union, they sent I don't know how it is called, letter or something to Mongolian government. Yes. Arrest Mr. Putin. You have to arrest him by the law, by international law. So after this visit, Mongolia could have international sanctions.
Maybe
because
very
Mongolia
serious
is a member of International Criminal Court. If they don't arrest Mr. Putin, they can have international sanctions. So I believe this visit will be very short. Let's check that. It will be very short because Putin, he is not a suicide guy and he doesn't want to go to the prison in Netherlands.
Clearly. Michael, thank you very much for today's conversation. Thank you for your time, for your opinions. See you in a week. Goodbye.
Thank you, Irina. Bye.
Bye. Michael Sheitelman, political strategist. My name is Irina Uzlova. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, please, to Michael Sheitelman's YouTube channel, to our YouTube channel, War and Politics 24, and leave your comments, please, if you want. We will read and answer. Take care about yourself and believe in our armed forces of Ukraine. See you.